Hey there, YouTube watchers. Welcome to the Great White North in Canada, where it is the heart of winter. It is darkness outside and everywhere around us. But regardless of that, we will still forge on. And what we're going to talk about today is in relationship to our Team Canada ETC plan that's going to go to Zagreb in 2018. Over a series of videos, I want to introduce you to all the different team members that are going to be coming out to play and representing Team Canada. So I have one of those guys with me right now who is about to introduce himself and tell you a little bit about him. Go to it.
All right. Well, hey everybody. My name's Ryan, and I'm really excited to be on Team Canada this year. My history with fantasy is I've been playing for quite a while, so this is kind of a really exciting and a really big honor to play for the team and travel overseas and play in a huge tournament, experience some really hopefully high quality games against really good players. And yeah, so I guess my history in fantasy, I've been playing, well, I think I was just thinking about it. I started playing in about 4th edition, but I really only seriously started playing in 8th edition. That's when I kind of started playing competitively, and I had picked it up after a many year gap. And then of course, when Games Workshop decided to kill fantasy, at least in its current iteration, we kind of started playing 9th Age in my local community almost right away. And we had a tournament. And, so since 9th Age has been out, I've been playing as many tournaments as I can possibly make it to, playing some Universal Battle, online with other players, and, just really enjoying the game.
You mentioned something there that I wanted to ask you about, and that is your experience with Universal Battle. How do you feel that really translates to, obviously it's not the same feeling as interacting across the table with your opponent, but does it feel close? Do you get the same gains from it?
I think I think it's a similar game. You get into the only weird parts are sometimes the interaction with the terrain, because it's kind of hard to sometimes tell what model's on a hill and which one's not, because you don't have the hill really popping out. It's not 3-dimensional, it's 2-dimensional. But I think by and large, it's a really good platform to play on and get some experience outside of the people you normally play with.
Yeah. So through your connections with that, have you played folks over in Europe or other parts of the planet?
Yeah, I have actually. I've played a couple tournaments through UB, and most of because they typically try and pair you with people in the same time zone. So I've mostly played people in the United States, but I think I've played a couple games against Europeans too, and I've played the odd pickup game too, where you just message somebody on the 9th Age page and meet up and play a game. My thoughts on it too is it works a bit better when both people are using Skype. If I've tried a couple games where you actually type out what you're trying to do, and that's really painful. Those games took forever because, it's, I'm about to roll 10 dice. This is my archer shooting at you, rather than, hey, this dice rolls 10 archers shooting on you. Typing that out was really, really painful. So I wouldn't recommend anybody try that way to play. But if you play with Skype, it's pretty smooth.
Okay. That sounds encouraging. I haven't tried it myself. That's why I'm mildly curious. But the other thing I wanted to ask you too is I know that you have in Calgary, you have run some leagues there for 9th Age players. And how many has that been that you've been through so far? And what do you feel that has done to grow new hobbyists or bring them over to 9th Age?
Yeah, it's a good question. We started the league almost right away when 9th Age came out, or let's say the first stable edition of 9th Age. That's kind of when we all started playing semi-seriously here. And it worked out quite well, because the first iteration of the league we did, it was largely just, people who played 8th edition fantasy came over and started just trying out this new game. And it worked to get a lot of people to try it out, because, the rules were free. Everybody already had models that could work. And so, it was pretty successful. We've been running the league on and off now for nearly 3 years now, for however long 9th Age has been out. And, we've even been relatively successful in pulling new people in that had never played fantasy before. You know, in our league right now, last one we ran was about 14 players, and 2 of them were brand new, never played a Games Workshop game before, or I guess never played Warhammer Fantasy. And I don't know, I mean, every person's a bit different why they started playing, but I think just having a group of players that, you know, you could, you know, if you're going to make this investment of time, energy, and money to pick up an army, you kind of want to make sure that you have people who are going to play with you. So, you know, I think it encourages people to actually go ahead and take that plunge if they know there's a community out there that they can join.
Yeah, and that's really great that you're doing that, Ryan, having that point of contact that's a regular sort of anchor for the community. And very encouraging that you're attracting new players. And I think both of those things together lends to the strength that we have in Alberta for the 9th Age players. And as a knock-on effect from that, obviously that's been beneficial for us in building this team for ETC in the first place. So very encouraged by that.
You know, I think it's like almost like a snowball, to use an analogy that works very, very well in Canada right now, because at least where I'm at, we got about 2 feet of snow outside. You just need 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people to kind of start playing semi-regularly, and then that's kind of where you can. That's enough to start tournaments, enough to get people kind of coming out more, and that's where you can. I don't know. Somehow that's just the magic number. If you can get that, then it will kind of grow and keep going because you'll pull more people in. But I think it seems to me a lot of communities struggle to get to that very basic baseline where they can start growing from.
Mm-hmm. And to do that publicly like you guys do, there's a shop in Calgary where you regularly go to play. And that's sort of, I think, is really necessary for those that aren't already deeply involved in the hobby to notice and recognize that there is that presence. Mention while we're here and talk about how to connect with you guys if there is others playing in Calgary or around there.
Yeah, there's a couple ways you can find us. We have a Facebook group that's kind of the gathering spot of all 9th Age players in Calgary. But you can also just hop on the 9th Age forums and go to the Canada section. And if you can't find our Facebook page, then go ahead and find us on the 9th Age forums, and we'll point you in the right direction or add you to our group. That's kind of the best way to find a pickup game or join our league, or, you know, just connect with other players in Calgary. And in fact, there's the other
Facebook. Sorry to interrupt. That title on Facebook is 9th Age Revolution League, isn't it?
That's correct.
Okay. Also, folks, I want to recommend that you look to 9th Age as well, also on Facebook, and that's a way to find us. And then more specifically, to reference our group for the ETC, we have another Facebook group called Team Canada ETC. It's that way too. Okay. Did you want to add something to that, Ryan, before we go to the next subject?
Yeah, the Alberta 9th Age page is key. It's almost become the Team Canada 9th Age page, or just the Canada 9th Age page, because we got people from all over the country on that page now. So definitely check that one out.
Yeah, that's how it's turned out. Well, we are now a week of the 2.0 beta edition. I've had a couple games under my belt already. I know that you've at least had one. But have you spent time poring over army book listings as well?
Yeah, I've tried to. I've played one game, and I've probably plowed through about 3 of the books in some depth.
Yeah. So, which one of the armies are you most drawn towards? Would you want to play at most?
Well, so that's a good question. Historically, I'm a Sylvan Elf player, but I'm most likely not going to be playing that for Team Canada, because we already have a really strong Sylvan Elf player. So I've kind of been looking at either playing Vermin Swarm or Beast Herds. So those are the kind of the books I've looked at most. And at the moment, I'm kind of up in the air. I'm going to have to play some games with both of them and see what kind of lists I can build. Like the new Vermin book looks pretty promising. It certainly looks interesting, and there's some more viable builds than there was in 1.3. So, obviously you'll have to play it and see what happens after the beta is over. But I think that will be an interesting army to play, and also depends on the needs of the team. If we kind of want a combined arms army, or something that's more combat oriented, we'll have to kind of figure that out as we get closer to Zagreb.
Right. Well, on exactly that point, that's what we all need to do, and we all need to commit to as team members, is to test all these things out and then find our way, what's best for the team as we get there. So that's the kind of thing that we'll be doing as a group over the coming months, and then eventually narrow it down to the right tools for the right job. But maybe to close up with a final thought is thinking way ahead to August, when we all go over to Zagreb. There's obviously good opportunities to go out and do some traveling. So I understand that you have some intentions to do exactly that. Do you want to share any of your thoughts and desires of travel while we're here?
Yeah, sure. Well, part of the appeal of doing this is that I was always kind of planning to go to Europe next year to travel anyways. So it was kind of an easy sell to just book the dates so I could do this tournament at the same time. And I'd be going with my wife. So we'd probably go for a few weeks, maybe 2, 3, depending on how the schedules work out. And we're kind of thinking about going to kind of Central Eastern Europe area, possibly as far south as Greece. So we might do Greece, Bulgaria, Croatia, and then depending on time and availability, maybe Poland. So kind of just doing some traveling around Europe while we're there, since for us Canadians, especially Western Canadians, it's quite a trip to get to Europe. So, you may as well maximize that really long flight there and spend a bit of time there and see what else is around.
Yeah, that sounds wonderful, man. I hope you get all the enjoyment out of that as well. More than just a wonderful once-in-a-lifetime gaming experience that I think we're all thinking of it, but hopefully it turns into a wonderful travel experience for you as well.
For sure.
Right. So I think we'll close out there. This gives everybody a bit of an introduction to the man behind the mask of Ryan, one of our team members for ETC. If folks have questions for Ryan or comments about things we've talked about here today, you can put it into the comments of the video down below, and I'll pass those on to Ryan or try to answer them myself. Ryan, any other thoughts that you want to part with before we split from here?
No, I just got to say I'm excited to go on this journey, and I'm looking forward to strategizing and talking about it as a team over the next couple of months as we prepare for this exciting opportunity to represent the country.
Yeah, exactly. Wonderful stuff. Okay, well, thanks, viewers, for watching. To summarize again, we talked about the 3 different Facebook groups that you can look us up on. So 9th Age Revolution League if you're in Calgary, Alberta 9th Age if you in general want to know what's going on in our hobby neighborhood, and then of course the ETC Team Canada also on Facebook is a place to find us. But then the 4th thing that Ryan mentioned is that you can seek it out through the actual 9th Age website forum and find us under the Canada subheading there. So for tonight, I wish you all a good day, and we'll see you again next time.